to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to the Mary Goulet Show, cultivating a rich interior. Now, here's Mary.
Welcome to the program. Yes, Mary Goulet, your host here on, I'm typically Cultivate a Rich Interior, but I'm starting a new additional podcast called Catholicism is Cool. And I went to the New Media Summit for the third time, and it's an amazing event, and meet awesome people, all walks of life, different topics, 40 icons of influence, who have successful podcasts, and then like 150 attendees. And these people may have a podcast, want to start a podcast, or just be a guest on someone else's. And I met the most wonderful person, Joseph Warren, and he is my guest today. And he started Broken Catholic. So welcome, Joseph, to the show.
Mary, how are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm so excited that you responded so quickly to my request to have you as a guest.
Absolutely. When God puts people together, you just say yes in obedience, and then he figures out the rest, right?
Exactly. So your podcast is, let's go back a little bit and tell me how the impetus for starting your show.
Okay, sure. Broken Catholic podcast is, I interview all different people, different labels. So I interview Catholics, I interview Protestants, atheists, agnostics about why the world's not working right now, because I believe that the enemy has us all distracted. And what I mean by that is, as Christians, we're like attacking each other based on high-level theology and the different labels of our different denominations. And we're distracted doing that rather than joining forces as Christians, as believers, and attacking the evil that's spreading out in the world right now. So that's kind of the impetus of where that came from, was bringing a voice to some of the things that nobody is talking about right now. So on my show, Broken Catholic, I talk about real-world struggles that we all deal with as Christians, regardless of the labels. And what would it look like if we unified Christians everywhere? We took down the walls, we took down the divisiveness, and we shared our struggles with each other. We shared what God was doing in each of our lives individually and collectively, and we went at the enemy full force rather than feeling powerless so many times as we do.
Okay, so out of curiosity, I can see that working with Protestants and evangelicals.
Yeah.
How do you approach an atheist or an agnostic? Because if they don't even believe there's a God, would they believe there's the evil one?
Correct, right? So I try to meet my guests where they're at. And I believe that's what God does with us. And I want to give a little background here. I start by telling them, hey, I'm a broken Catholic and I'm a former atheist myself. And I was raised in the Catholic faith, and I was raised to know of God, but I never actually knew God. I never experienced him in a real, tangible way, as real as you and I speaking right now on this radio show. And that was missing from my life. So at age 19, I went out and I pursued different gods. I left God behind, I left my family behind, and I pursued the gods of money, success, and pleasure, and became agnostic and atheist, and literally did not have God in my life at all. So what's good about that, and why I'm bringing that into this answer, Mary, is it's very important that I could speak to that atheist and to that agnostic from where they're at and say, listen, I was where you were, and God reached out into the darkness and pulled me back and spared my life because he had a bigger plan for me. If you feel like there's something missing in your life, you could call it whatever you want. I don't call it, you call him God or the universe or your higher power, whatever. But if there's a emptiness, a void, where is this all there is to the world? If you have that kind of question, then I give them a very specific prayer or question to start with if they are open to believing that possibly there is a God and possibly they're not him.
Yeah, I find that I'm glad you're out there communicating that part of it, because I don't think I could articulate it that well to an atheist. I don't think. So I want to ask you, because this is something that's come up for me, the evil one.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I've learned I never wanted to believe there was a devil. I was very naive, and I just could not comprehend there would literally be an evil force prowling the earth for the ruin of souls, for the power and ruin of souls. But it's true. So
why do you, if I can ask you, because I'm just a curious person myself, why do you think you struggle to believe that the enemy existed?
I don't know. So I'm a very literal person, and I like to believe the best in people. So when people disappoint me or purposely hurt me, like purposely, I'm okay if you hurt me and you didn't mean to, but if you purposely go out and do something against me, I've had a couple of those instances, and then it opened my mind. You know what? There is evil in the world. But for the longest time, my whole life, I never resonated with the concept of the devil. Even though the stories in the Bible, right? Lucifer?
Sure.
Okay. I guess I skipped over that part. I was just like, that really makes me uncomfortable. And I really wanted to focus on the angels. And there's a saint, Padre Pio is now Saint Pio out of Italy, contemporary saint. I think he passed away in like 1968, I believe, canonized through the Catholic Church. And there are stories of him literally in a physical fight with the devil in his room. People could hear him battling physically the devil.
And what shows up for you there?
It's kind of scary, because I also hear, I don't remember which saint said it, but there are saints that have been communicated with by Jesus and Mary. And one saint said, please, Jesus, do not come to me and communicate with me, because I can't tell if it's you or the devil. I can't tell if it's you or the evil one is so clever that he could disguise himself as good. And we see that in our daily lives. People who are sociopaths or psychopaths or just narcissistic. And that kind of stuff, it is among us. So here's my little therapy session with Joseph.
Do you have a question that you're going to give me, or am I going to just kind of bounce back thoughts? What are you thinking?
You know what? Help me. I didn't realize I was going to talk about this, but help me figure, like, how do you put the evil one in one place and God in the other and protect yourself?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so thanks. I think I could speak to that. Here's how I see it. Evil is not an actual thing. It doesn't actually exist. Evil is the absence of God. Unto itself, it's nothing. So when God is removed, what's left is evil. The same way when you remove when you remove light, what's left? Darkness. Darkness unto itself is not actually a thing. Light is a thing. Light is what's real. Remember, God only created what's good, right? In Genesis, when we look at that, he created this. He created the earth, the sky, the waters, and it was good. So God doesn't create anything bad, including the enemy, including evil, right? We tend to say, well, why did God do that? Why did God create evil in the world? God didn't. Evil exists as a result of mankind's rebellion to God and removing God and pushing him out And what's left? We call it evil. It's the absence of God. So I think that's a very important distinction. What shows up for you in just that part, just so that I don't go too far?
No, that's awesome. That is clear. Now I get what you're saying. So that's why you're out talking to anyone, no matter what their identification of their faith is. Because
that's right.
If you can impart even a spark of God in them, that light can overcome any potential darkness they have.
Well said. That's really well said, Mary. The way I look at it is this. People are starving for love. People are starving for truth. God is love. God is truth. So people are starving for God. They don't even know it. Their appetite's already whet. My job, and I believe each of our job as children of God, as disciples of God, is to evangelize. And what that simply means is to invite people to have dinner with God, if that makes any sense, right? God is the food, God is the nourishment that they're starving for. And our job is simply to ignite or re-whet that appetite that's already there. We don't have to put something into the person. And I think that's the trick or the thing I used to fall into, is that I need to create something in the other person who's an atheist, who fell away, or is agnostic. And that's not the case at all.
Wow.
All I have to do is bring out what's already there, which is the hunger, and speak about the hunger and the pain.
Okay, Joseph, I love what you're saying. We're going to a commercial break. We'll be right back with more on this, because this is awesome stuff. We'll be right back.
Got it.
Thank you. By listening, you help prove that content marketing works. You need to engage your customers. We provide the solution. Contact Wade at WSRadio.com or call 866-WS-RADIO.
If you heard that sound, you probably are eligible for insurance from Navy Mutual, insuring the men and women of the Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard. Here's what one policyholder, retired Navy Commander Thomas Dade, had to say.
Navy Mutual is the best insurance decision I ever made. I wish you had a savings plan available that earned the rates my Navy Mutual insurance has been earning.
Navy Mutual Aid Association, started by military members in 1879, serves active, reserve, and retired military today. Navy Mutual honors our military by providing them affordable life insurance with the features they need without fine print, sales fees, or military service restrictions. Value, integrity, trust, and stability are the cornerstones on which our commitment to you and your loved ones are built. Call Navy Mutual at 1-800-628-6011 or NavyMutual.org for your personal life insurance plan consultation. 1-800-628-6011 or NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way? A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at whichwich.com and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH, whichwich.com.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
I can't speak more highly about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me get my health back, get my energy back. And Dr. Agoli, when I first came to you guys, you found a thyroid problem, and I had no clue, but that's really common with a lot of your patients, right?
Underactive thyroid is the most misdiagnosed condition in the United States. According to the American Academy of Endocrinology, well over 25% of the population is not being diagnosed properly. It's because of the testing parameters. If you go to your traditional doctor, they could be missing a key component. If you have crushing fatigue, inappropriate weight gain, cold hands, cold feet, losing hair, lack of concentration, even headaches and migraines could be caused by underactive thyroid. At Progressive Medical, we get to the root cause of the problem because we are integrative, and integrative medicine is good medicine. We use a combination of medication, natural supplements, diet, nutrition, lifestyle modification, and that's what makes it so unique because we tailor it to your personal needs, and that's interesting because you are tailored.
Yes, and if you want to get your energy back, be the most vibrant version of yourself, you got to get to Progressive Medical Center. I'm so glad I went. Contact them today through ProgressiveMedicalCenter.com.